Do you have a crew that you usually work with? How many people do you prefer on your crew?
Well, it scales up and down. You know, if I'm shooting in a bathroom, it's a heck of a lot less people than if I'm shooting in this auditorium or I'm shooting in a ballroom. Just an average type thing, if I was to go onto a situation that had a variety of moderate and average locations, is myself, and then I have 3 department heads. I have a camera department, a lighting department, and a grip department. Now, for those of you who don't know, the grip department is responsible. The lighting department sets the lights, and then the grip department manipulates the quality of the lights. So they might go in and flag stuff off, or they might go in and put tree branches up to create a pattern. The grip department also does rigging, and they do safety. Like if we're shooting off of a car, the grip department's the one who's going to be rigging pipes and things to the car so we can mount cameras and lights. And in those 3 departments, the head of the electrical department is a gaffer, of which there is only one. The head of the grip department is the key grip, and the head of the camera department is the first assistant camera. And underneath them, the camera crew, typically there's at least a first and a second, and sometimes a loader for film. If you're shooting high def, you don't really need a loader, but you might still have a third person there to help with logging and just the interface with production. The electrical department and the grip departments, you typically have a second in command, which would be the best boy. So you have a best boy electric and a best boy grip. And then under them, you're going to have 2 to 3 people on what I would consider an average production. If you have a really large location, you may have more people. You may even have 2 crews working in tandem where one is going ahead and pre-rigging. Like if I had a big ballroom or a restaurant, it might take a day or 2 to pre-rig it. So it scales up and down, but 4 people per crew on the electrical and grip, and 2 or 3 on the camera is about average.
That's a sizable number of people, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's just my crews. And also, that doesn't count if I have a Steadicam operator, if I have a crane operator, and that's just me. Then you've got makeup, you've got wardrobe, you've got hair, you've got the production department, which is the assistant director, and the PAs, which are the guys all running around with walkie-talkies. You may have a transportation department. You have an art department. You may have a greens department, which is responsible for landscaping type things. And you may have specialty departments, like if there's animals, you may have animal wranglers. You may have an on-set teacher if there's children. If there's, if for instance you're shooting something with music, you may have consultants, if you have a performer, typically not in a music video, but say in a feature film or in a commercial, and they're supposed to be playing piano and they don't really know how, you'll have a pro there to give them some moves so they at least look right. And then, when you go in for the close-ups, you're probably shooting that performer's hands.